everybody, this is a Lighthouse Hall of Fame film. Dark Ninja and his T21 again from the North American server and back in Sand River, but this time standard mode, West Spawn. 1 artillery on the enemy team, 2 on his. A lot of heavies and mediums in the fight, just, 3 scouts apiece. Teams are fairly equal. I've never seen him play this map, so I don't know where he's going to go. Into the ditch. And up the ramp. Get some real spots over here to the east. Oops, here comes 5916. Those things are nasty if they have the auto loader. Auto loaders on 5916s aren't good for much of anything except taking out scouts, but they're very good at taking out scouts. And as you can see, if you want a lot of action, come down here into the ditch because it tends to be focal point of attention in today's game. He may be getting a little more action than he wants. But the Cromwell on 5916 are too. So he moves back to where he's not the center of attention, and that's going to allow him to shoot at tanks without taking damage in return. He's going to let the medium and heavy do the grunt work as they should. Calling in fire on the LTTB. You'll have to light him up. He's going to stay here and shoot the Black Prince. Why light up the LTTB when you can shoot at this guy?
Enemy is hit. Penetration. Enemy armor is hit. We didn't even scratch them. We didn't penetrate their armor. Enemy is hit. Enemy armor is hit. Critical hit.
Oh man. You got a crit hit instead of a kill on that one. Sometimes it just works out that way. He hit him solid, he just didn't penetrate him.
Penetration.
And you can see from north to south that his team is slowly advancing across the map. They have a real good line
Enemy is hit.
attack going on. No holes in it at all. A little bit weak to the north now. But the challenger's back there, hopefully to hold the flank with another medium. As long as they can keep those guys from wrapping around. If all those mediums up north wrap around behind them, that's going to be a problem. But hopefully this medium and this TD can keep these guys right where they're at right now. Wow, they have like 2 heavies and TD and 3 mediums up there. That's a lot of what they have left on the battlefield. Hopefully the South down here can make a good move and they'll end up being able to flank that northern assault. So the Black Prince was looking at him, so he just waited and let the KR go in and get a big hit on him, and that let him get the kill shot. It's very important as you approach a tank to note which way their turret's pointing. And when they're pointed at you and you have an ally coming up, fine, just stop. Make that guy wait on you to come out, and while he's waiting on you, your ally comes in and hits him for big damage, and then if he turns his turret, that frees you up to join the attack. If not, you just keep him looking at you and the other guy takes him out, and you don't get hurt. And look what happened. By them pushing in the south, they pulled about half that attacking force from the north back to the east and split them up. So now the people out in the west don't have the numerical advantage they had before. If they would have stayed a cohesive group and pulled in this way, they probably could have overrun the base. But by pressuring over here, they got some of the people to pull back, and that kind of did away with the threat to the base. It's a real fine line as to when do we break off and defend, and when is it better just to continue the attack. I think if these people had been in a good defensive position, then they would have had to go back, but since they were, and there's several decent players on the offense, they knew, hey, we can press this and force them to react to us, because we're going to be able to break down these defenses quicker than these guys are. And now with the attacking force split in two, some pulling back to defense and some going on to the west, he's able to pull right up in between them. Where 3 or 4 minutes ago, if he would have tried this, he would have been dead already. Now he's hoping he doesn't get shot. He just should have waited. He didn't. He wanted to get that shot. He just had to get that extra shot. It does the end so many times, it's unreal. Happens to everybody. Sebastian's probably the best at not yielding to temptation and trying to get that extra damage. But it's hard not to. He's sitting right there. You're in his flank. You know he's swiveling the gun around. He's going to have to aim, and then he fires without aiming and manages to hit you anyway. And you're like, damn, why did I pull out? My own team would have taken the guy out if I just would have waited. When you tempt fate, sometimes fate laughs at you. It's just the way it goes. So as hopefully they wrap up the battle, because they have a 3-tank lead. They outnumber the enemy 2-1 right now. He pulled down into the ditch. Saw the MT-25 down here and got a shot at him. The 59-16 came in, and then the Cromwell came in. He got a couple shots off. Then he realized, you know, I'm really kind of outgunned here. Definitely out reload time. If that guy has the autocannon or the auto loader, I'm going to back off, come up around here, let my heavy and medium come down here and do the brawling, and let me sit back here and snipe and add some damage to help you guys out. And you have to be alert for situations like that. You don't have to be the tip of the spear once the battle's engaged. Back out. Move to the back or to the flank, and you become the support tank that you're supposed to be. When you're out front spotting, cool. Once the battle engages, unless you're in a bush somewhere and being passive and they don't know you're there, then move around to the edge of the battle and start being the harasser, because you survive longer that way. You end up doing more damage that way. And then from there, We saw the big attack coming from up here. It kept building, kept building. They got stronger and stronger. At this point, the southern flank was going really well, and so the whole team decided kind of collectively, we're just going to push this and force the north to come back and deal with us. And they ended up splitting this force up, some coming back, some going west. That enabled the remaining defenders to be able to handle the people out west. The south just constantly pressed forward, and it ended up being a gap that he was able to pull up here and exploit, and then he went for that extra shot. Going for the extra shot, man. It's like, yes, sometimes it works, and sometimes you end up disappointed because it doesn't. Either way, he still ends up with a great mission. He ends up with 2,881 damage and 2 kills, 33 of 50 shooting at 66%, got 1,172 assisted damage in 4 spots, lost 77,014 credits, didn't survive the fight but got a Confederate medal, and also got Bruiser and Fire for Effect mini medals to go along with his 2,141 XP. He ends up with a 19th place battle score of 2,177. It's a lot lower now. It's been bumped down. I'll probably say this every game I record. And if you get tired of it, sorry, but situational awareness is the single best skill you have. Pay attention to the minimap and understand what it means that's going to happen now and going to happen in 2 or 3 minutes, and adjust. If you learn to do that and make the proper assessment, everything in the game becomes easier. Usually most people of moderate or higher skill have a decent handle on how to shoot and where to shoot. What separates as a scout from being mediocre or medium, I shouldn't say mediocre, that sounds bad, from being an average player to way above average, is knowing when to shoot, and even more so, where to go to set up your next shot. If you can teach yourself by looking at the maps and studying replays and seeing what worked and what didn't, teach yourself where to go to set up your next shot to where the odds are low that you get shot back, or in some cases where you have to go to keep control of the fight for your team. All of a sudden it's like, wow, this game isn't as hard as it looked in the beginning when I first started playing. From Sand River from Sand River Standard West mode, Dark Ninja doing great until he went for that one extra shot. Happy hunting.